To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. And happy Halloween 2022. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Sean Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted home, my very haunted home. And it's been active today, and I think we all know why. Two reasons. It's Halloween, and my guest. I suspect my guest, who you all know and love, and I love her and respect her, and I'm so glad she's with me tonight. She's in the green room, and she'll be coming right out. But I suspect she travels with a bit of her own ghost posse too. So they may show up too. Um, Before I bring her out, let's get to tonight. I have a prayer pumpkin. It's usually the prayer urn, but tonight I have a prayer pumpkin. Let's check that. Alyssa G. from Arizona. With Halloween near, I do believe in the thinning of the veil. I have had issues in the past. Would you pray I don't have issues this Halloween? That is a great request, Alyssa. You know, and I've got many of those requests this week. And you know what I'll do? I will offer up a good prayer, and I have one in mind here. And this is a good general deliverance prayer for any of the known, for all you Halloween fans out there, boogeymen of all types that tend to wander around the world looking for the ruin of souls, if you will, on this night. And that's the one I will do. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Most gracious Virgin Mary, thou who wouldst crush the head of the serpent, protect us from the vengeance of the evil one. We offer our prayers, supplications, sufferings, and good works to you so that you may purify them, sanctify them, and present them to thy Son as a perfect offering. May this offering be given so that the demons that could influence us, and people that we know, do not know the source of the expulsion and blindness. Blind them so they know not of our good works. Blind them so they know not on whom to take vengeance. Blind them so that they may receive the just sentence for their works. Cover us with the precious blood of thy Son, so that we may enjoy the protection which flows from his passion and death. We ask this through the same Christ our Lord. Amen. May everyone have a peaceful and blessed Halloween evening. Thank you for the request, Alyssa. Let's check the Paranormal Ministry mailbag. Tom S. from New York. I hear you talk about spirit cake for Halloween. Please explain. I think you meant soul cakes, but I'll go with spirit cakes, Tom. That's an excellent question. So I guess you watched the show enough. You've heard me talk about it. Soul cakes. I think the tradition back in Europe is called souling, and people would like trick or treating, but they wouldn't really trick or treat, but they would go around dressed in costumes like trick or treaters, and they'd go to the different doors. And if you had close relatives and immediate family members that had recently passed on, you would bake these little, what they call soul cakes, put a cross on them. They would be also blessed, and you would hand this out instead of candy to the people that came to your door. And the exchange is when a person received this cake, they would promise to say a prayer, offer up a prayer, uh, a rest in peace prayer for that dearly departed that the owner of the home is requesting as they give that cake out. Very, very cool. I wanted to do that one year. My wife thought, but I was going to be the one that went around the neighborhood and handed out the soul cakes. My wife thought that would be a little bit too weird and talked me out of it because everybody in the neighborhood thinks that her and I are the weird old ghost couple in the haunted house. And so She talked me into doing that, but that's what that is, and it's called souling. But uh, so anybody watching the show tonight, try that one year. Bake some soul cakes. Use blessed salts in the recipe, some holy water in the recipe. They're like little cupcakes. Put a cross in the top of them, and have a little note attached to each one. And if you have close friends, family members that have recently passed on around a Halloween time, give those out to some trick or treaters, especially if they show up with the adults. Give them to the adults and say, "Would you pray for my dearly departed?" Yada yada. That'd be way different. Something different to do on Halloween. Okay. If there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. If you go there to visit, there's a lot of cool things there to see. I know times are tough, but my wife and I don't charge for our ministry work helping people with their paranormal issues. So if you are able to do so, you notice the donate button and you're able to, click on it and send in a small donation to our ministry. I promise you it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we'll put it to good use. Don't leave the website without navigating over to the page called the WSE course/book. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. And I quote, scariest book I ever published. That was Annette Munich, owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. But don't let that scare you off of purchasing a copy. If you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my book goes to support stjude.org, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Nevada, and the ASPCA. So, how cool is that? You get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. And this is also a really good time to get the book and get all caught up because God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2 Chronicles of an American Exorcist comes out. It's supposed to come out next month. We'll see. It's all ready to go. But I talk about something in the book that's a big secret right now. I haven't been given the green light, if you will, to talk about this big secret. And I talk about it in the book, so I can't publish the book until I've been given the green light to talk about this big secret. So it may come out next month. It may come out early 2023, but this is a great time to get the first book. You can get it autographed, enclosed in a house blessing kit off of the website. You can get it a little less expensive at Amazon. Scroll a little further down on that page, you'll see the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, which I am a founding member. I offer a 12-week college level course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through the WSE. And this is the course for all you true warriors for Christ that feel a calling and a longing to want to have more knowledge when it comes to drawing your line in the sand, making a stand, putting up a good fight against, God forbid, true evil if it ever comes calling. This is the course for you. You can enroll in the on the website. If you want more information about the course before making that type of commitment, go to the Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page and read a little bit more about the course and see if it's right for you. Or just call me. We'll talk about it. No, I'm not going to teach you how to be an exorcist. That's a calling. This course is exactly what it says, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through my eyes and through my experiences. Um, it's a course like none other out there like it. So, all of my students that graduate get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion, suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed items that you can only get from yours truly. Most importantly, please keep all of my former, current, and future students in your prayers. Okay, the moment of truth. The reason why you all tuned in. And thank you all for doing so, spending an hour out of your busy, spooky Halloween night to spend with me and my guest. I love her. I respect her. She's so cool. And that's why you all tuned in. She is a scrying medium. She's an author. She's an elite ghost hunter buster. She's author of the book Spirit Photography. She's a spirit photographer, world renowned, critically acclaimed author and spirit photographer. Brothers and sisters from Pacific Coast Paranormal, please welcome to the show the one and only Tara Mead.
Good evening.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Happy Halloween to you and to everyone.
Yes, one of my favorite holidays, and there's always a few out there that come at me and go, Catholics, they're not supposed to celebrate Halloween. I have a beautiful article that I posted just today, um, all about the Catholic tradition of Halloween. So if anybody's interested, go to my personal Facebook page, and the article is there. It's a wonderful article on that. But Catholics do. And so, what do I want to say to you other than you look very pretty tonight? I hope you have I know you're going to have a little party later, and I hope you have a wonderful, safe, blessed Halloween night. I
Thank
have a
you.
list here. Half of the questions are questions I didn't get to the last time you were here. Half of the questions are questions that were recently sent in this week by fans and followers of yours. So I'll just start at the top and we'll go for it. Let me first start by saying this to everybody. You sent me about a week ago a collection of the most awesome spirit photography I've seen in a long time. And I know that there are many of them, if not all of them, are in your book. But I decided, I couldn't pick any favorites. There was a lot of them. I couldn't pick any favorites. And I know the show's only an hour long. So what I decided to do, I'm going to have you back early next year, and we're going to do nothing but a Terra ghost photo reveal show where I might as well not even show up because I'm going to hand the mic over to you. We will just throw the photos up on the screen, and as we slowly scroll through them and stop on each one, you can go ahead and tell people what it is we're seeing, where the photo was captured at, how it was captured, a backstory on it, and all that stuff, which I think would be very cool. So tonight, I won't be sharing any of your photos, but I wanted to thank you in person for sending them to me, and know that we will do a photo reveal show soon.
Great. Looking forward to it. Every picture tells a story.
Okay, what I want to ask you is this, and you talked about it briefly in um, the green room before we went live, and somebody sent in a question about that today. Everybody knows, a lot of people know you moved from New Orleans to LA. Let me start by saying why, because New Orleans is at one of the top of my list must go to. I've been there, but I want to go back, work some cases, do some ghost hunting. I could even see myself retiring there. I know it's a scary place, but why did you move? And tell us a good New Orleans ghost story.
Oh, I have so many. Um, I will do that. I moved because my parents split up and my mother moved to California with my father's cousin. So we're all all in the family. And I go back and forth. I throughout school years I had traveled back and forth. My entire family is in New Orleans. Every other few blocks there's a relative. So they're all over the state, thousands of them. But story-wise, I have a really quick story. I went there, oh gosh, probably 5 years ago. A friend of mine owns the Hotel Provincial in the city near the Ursuline Convent. And it was a rainy, stormy night, thunder, lightning. So upon registering, coming in, the ladies told me, don't go in there. Don't go in there. The door locks on you. And one lady says, oh, I saw a lady in there. I was making the bed. She was standing there. She ran out and quit her job. So I stayed in the scary room, which was really cool. So throughout the night, the bed shook on its own. There's no earthquakes. We're in we're by the river, but there's no trembling. So definitely cold spots. People were there. I did get a picture of what I think it looked like an old pirate. Just the way his face is and his teeth, and just it looked like an old pirate. But I did capture an incredible photo there, and you can see the Mississippi River in the background. And then there's this soldier who I thought was, oh, maybe from Vietnam. I couldn't tell. So, having this clarity in this great photo, I asked a friend of mine from out here in Pasadena, very incredible psychic Tuesday Miles. She told me this man's name was Felix, and he flew on a mission, died in his last mission, and that he loved to party when he wasn't on duty. Turns out I cleared out my father's house because he was moving into a home, and I found this old crinkly copy obituary of this person, exact a look-alike. So I kept it, and I didn't mention this to her, but Tuesday told me that person was named Felix, or she couldn't quite tell, but that is very much so one of my cousins. His name's Randall Felix. He died in World War II, and he was on his last mission as a bomber. So she was right on with that. But the experience of the creepiness of walking out of the hotel room and coming back and not locking the door, it was definitely locked, and they don't lock unless you lock them. It's an older hotel. But different photos I've taken in the South. I have some amazing photos in I think it's a sugar mill plantation. And it is definitely, you see, there's a mammy, and then I'm from the South. That's just from Gone with the Wind, that type of, it's like someone who helps with the family. She was there, and then there was a trapper, and it did look like a good scene, but you can plainly see, I can feel what she was feeling, and it wasn't a good feeling, but the old residual energy still lies there. And I've also connected with, I went to the cemetery nearby there too. I have photographs of these things I had to research from way back in the cemetery. There was like a long light that just kept coming through, and then it appeared right next to me, in front of me. These things are called rods. NASA can describe them as, they really don't know what they are, but if you research rods, it's exactly what I saw. The photograph will show that. It's just very interesting.
What do you think they are? What's your gut, your second sense? What do you think
Definitely
they are?
extraterrestrial, not human, not non-human. No, it's not animal spirit. So to me, that's why I kept having to research. Took a while, but if you Google rods in NASA, they will show you these, looks like caterpillars sometimes, just crawling around, but they're way out in space. So they are also spears of light, and that's what I caught. I tend to catch extraterrestrials. I've got quite a few of them in different photographs, different places, but those I do believe are rods.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah, I find all that stuff. I've seen photos of the rods, and I haven't heard. I like to ask somebody, when people bring that topic up, what they feel they may be. Um, would everybody, every city's got its haunted stories. I mean, Las Vegas is very haunted. I lived many, 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 many years in Southern California. Ran into many places that were haunted. And everybody says my city's the most haunted. But come on, nobody argues with anybody from New Orleans that says, trust me, New Orleans is off the charts. Probably shouldn't even be on the list, because the list is below where it's at. What would you say if somebody, where would you say New Orleans ranks on the list of most haunted cities?
Oh, top 5%. There's so many places, Gettysburg and so forth, but New Orleans has a lot of Civil War history all over it. A lot of pirates, Jean Lafitte. Then you have unfortunately, I hate to say this, but slavery. You have a lot of the past pain from that. So people are very different these days, which is wonderful. But that is a part of history, and
Absolutely, yeah.
residual energy is still there. You can see things replay. And my cousin, he used to, I remember he came home one day. He goes, "Look what I have. Look what I have, Dad." He lifted this bone up and he goes, "I have a femur." So,
Oh my God.
there's just people buried so deep. And then when there's storms that come up,
Yeah.
they come up, but there's also mafia. So there's a lot of little stories which lead to every, photo that has something in particular in there. So it's very active,
Yeah,
highly
you had
active.
when they had that last big huge hurricane, not the most recent one, but the one like one before that. And
Katrina.
yeah, I mean they had graves, coffins rising up from the flooding from the cemeteries floating around in the city. That's just crazy. It's funny you bring that up because I have I have a New Orleans story for you, and I tell you this because you're from there and you're gifted. You can tell me what you think. And then I have a slavery story for you. So many people I talk to who've encountered in their paranormal investigations have encountered the spirits of slaves. And many times I hear so many people talk about um, be very careful around them. They're usually very violent, and I always shoot that down. It's not that. People that investigate that aren't sensitive, like you or I, they the activity that's usually surrounded by those types of haunts sometimes appears to be violent, and it's not at all. I remember going even in northern Nevada. I, oh my gosh, I forget the ghost town I was in, but there was a bar there that was part of the Underground Railroad, and there was a secret trap door that the owner let me go through into this back room that was hidden and nobody knew it was there, where the slaves, as they were traveling through there, would be housed and hidden there. But when you go down there, and this is in the middle of summer in Nevada, it was
Hot.
hot, but you walk in there and it was like walking into a meat locker. But the overwhelming sense of just anger towards just not you, but what they had been through, and fear and sorrow and despair, all of that is so overwhelming when you're around the spirits of slaves that some people mistake that as being um, a violent haunt, and it's not. Um, so I ran into that one time that you bring up the slavery part. But do you believe in vampires? I know that's a crazy off the wall question.
I can never say no because of the photographs I take of the non humans. They are different things that we just don't see. I have learned a lot about the Anne Rice, all the books she had written, but there's a true belief in vampires. And if you look in New Orleans, there are people like that in Romania, and something's just within them. I do believe some people aren't could be fake, but I do believe there are definitely vampires, energy vampires. I'm not, some people go out there and actually, I know they drink blood and rituals and do things, but I believe, I mean, I like to have proof with everything I see, but that I have not picked up on a vampire yet. But I know a lot of people really do believe, and I can't say I don't.
Well, let me ask you. This is the reason why I ask you the question, being from New Orleans. I didn't get into recently. I didn't get into the interview of the with the vampire series that just came out. I'll probably go back and watch it. But I saw the movie and kind of been there, done that sort of thing for me. So I didn't really get into the series. But I stumbled upon a series on Showtime. So I saw episode 4 last night called "Let the Right One In." Very different twist on the vampire thing. I'm really enjoying the series. I saw the original foreign movie many years ago. Then they did an American remake, which was pretty good. But it's a very good series. But many years ago, I spent 10 days at the St. Croix. I believe it was called the St. Croix Hotel in the heart of the French Quarter. I went there for a concrete convention of all things because I had my own diamond saw blade business at the time. So I went there to set up a booth and sell diamond saw blades. This I was a Ghostbuster at the time, so every night after this we would close down, I'd go and I have a little bite to eat at my room. Then I would go out. I wouldn't do that today, but I would go out, walk around the French Quarter, and I'd go to the areas where it wasn't very well lit. The buildings seemed really old and abandoned. And I'd go and I'd go ghost hunting. People that live there now say, "You're lucky that something didn't happen to you because don't do that now." But
Right,
I'm walking.
right.
I'm walking back to my hotel room one night, and I see this man standing on the side of the road up against a building, sort of in the shadows, unusually tall, like a basketball player, unusually white, like an albino, skinny like a POW, not wearing clothes like back in the day, but kind of period dress. He's wearing clothes like maybe 20 years older than like what you're wearing at the time, but he's just staring at me and I just got so creeped out by him. It was late and I'm by myself. That probably, and in New Orleans, that probably helped
Mm-mm-mm.
the creepiness. But I decided to go home, and I turn this corner and I'm walking down the street. Next thing I know, about a half a block ahead of me is the same guy on the other side of the street, standing up against a building, just staring at me. I'm like, really weird. That's got to be a different person. I walk past this person. I make another turn heading towards, where my hotel's at. There's the guy again. Now I know this is the same person. Here he is in the shadows, hanging out, being quiet, staring at me. I start to get really creeped out. And now it seems like the faster I go and the more turns I make and the quicker I try to get to home, I'm seeing this person everywhere. I finally got to my hotel room, which I didn't feel safe there because when I checked in, this girl who checks me in says, "Listen, don't leave your do you brush your hair?" I'm, "Oh, yeah." She goes, "Don't leave your hair in your brush in the room. Take it with you when you leave to go to the convention or go out partying. Don't leave your hair in your brush in your room at night." I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, "That's weird." Okay. The room was haunted. Water was turning on and off. AC was going on and off. Windows were being opened and then shut. But, hey, it is what it is. So I thought to myself, did I encounter that behavior is not ghost like, not phantom like. I don't think the person was real, like solid 3-dimensional, could touch and feel him. Do you think I saw a vampire?
It's a good possibility. Honestly, 3 times and following you and ahead of you that quickly, that's really creepy.
It was very
And
creepy,
then
and I don't get creeped out easy. I was I was chilled to the bone, creeped out, and it was January, winter time, yes, but I was chilled to the bone, creeped out.
that is a
The
very creepy story, and you never know.
Yeah,
Very well could be. It's that's a full body apparition. If not, it is very didn't sound like a positive experience. It's very
no,
scary,
very
and it's not
it was
human.
creepy.
But
It was creepy.
yeah, that sounds
Well,
really
let's get to
creepy.
some more fan questions for you. Oh, this is a funny one. I laughed when I saw this one because I read this on your profile, and I just got the biggest laugh out of it when somebody sent this in. They said, "Tell Tara she looks great for 102 years old." And it says, "The year that you came to Earth was 1920. You've got to explain yourself, young lady."
People say I don't look my age, but yes, I've been around. Yes, I didn't
What
want any. I just decided I wanted to be old.
do you remember putting that on your profile, your
I
Facebook
do.
profile? Somebody
I do.
wanted to know what you meant by that. If it's, do you believe in past lives? And if so,
Yes.
how many past lives have you been able to tap into that you know of yourself, and the whole what's the story behind you putting that on your profile?
Past lives, I honestly feel that I do believe I was in the Vietnam War. I have always been highly affected when watching those movies. It is very, I become emotional. So I have not met anyone that could actually tell me the past lives that I've had. Definitely, I believe. I would like to investigate that and find, some people can have the ability to read the past lives and tell you what you were, but I think I'm an old soul. I do believe that.
Have you ever had the desire to have anybody do a past life regression on you, hypnotize you, and put you under and go through that?
I do. My father used to do that, but he would never work on his children. Don't know why, but I would love that. I do. I would love that. I would like to spend some time and find out, because I hear a lot of things from different people as to who they were, and that if it's sometimes they bring negativity or positivity into the lives and the present life that they're in. So if something's wrong, there may be a situation where it's from the past that they can find out through having someone read that past life experience and heal them this way, or find out why they have certain quirks. But I that is interesting, quite. I do
Yeah,
believe the soul's reborn. We don't, yes.
I'm on the fence with it. I'm a big believer, like the God that I pray to. I believe through him all things are possible, and if he, for whatever, for lack of a better term, if he saw a reason or saw it fit to, I know it's a terrible phrase, but recycle your soul and send you back down here to learn some lessons that you didn't learn, or to do something that he needed you to do, or especially for other people, let's say, um, that I believe it's possible, but I'm on the fence with it. Although I've been told some very interesting things before, like all my life. I mean, I've had my neck X-rayed many, many times. There's nothing wrong with it, but I periodically get these really terrible stiff necks and pains in my neck, and I also have a fetish, if you will, about lighthouses. And I remember a psychic reached out to me who didn't know that about me and didn't know me from Adam, and said, I had a vision about you. Do you believe in past lives? I said, well, I'm on the fence. He said, well, you used to be a a lighthouse keeper, and you fell down the lighthouse and broke your neck.
Ooh,
And I never said anything. I just went, wow, that is
wow.
just too trippy.
See,
But
things
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, that's just trippy. But you don't know if people that are gifted like you are, you're sending out something. I'm passionate about, I've got this neck issue and I'm passionate about lighthouses. If I am psychically sending out that mental picture, and like you as a radio station is just picking that signal up and then just broadcasting that. I don't know if that happens sometimes too. I don't know, but I've been I'm a little for some reason I'm a little nervous about doing the past life regression. I've had many gifted people that know how to do that offer it to me, and for some reason, I'm a little nervous about it. And so that's why I haven't done it yet. Do you believe in your heart of hearts and your whatever you're feeling, do you believe that there's anything to fear of that?
I know, I believe the soul progresses. And like you were saying, each life, I would hope that we can better ourselves. The one negative, or not negative, but the one thing I do think about is I do believe in past lives, but when I'm photographing, I get the person that we are looking for, and it's always the same. It's always that person. So it's hard to say if they, did they go into a different life, and how is that soul still there and communicating with me verbally and through photos? It's all a mystery.
Yeah.
It is something we'll find out, I'm sure. but that's where I'm on the line, because the people that I connect with, they match their photos and they're still there.
Yeah.
I don't think they can be in two
Yeah.
places. I don't know, but it appears that they, they're there definitely.
You've been with Pacific Coast Paranormal for a long time. I love the website, and I just think that uh, that team. First of all, the team is huge, and they have such a great reputation, especially on this side of in the whole paranormal community, but this side of the country, great reputation. Let's talk about your scrying medium, and then I'm going to get into spirit photography with you. Scrying, oh my gosh, how long has scrying been around? I talked to somebody the other day who said, the apostles used to cast lots, and I knew that, but I said, oh yeah, really? Tell me what you know about that. And we had a little discussion about that. Um, and many people in my field, we do believe people do truly, some of them have a gift from God to be very sensitive to spirit, like you. Talk to me about scrying. Your the technique you prefer, and if there's any scrying techniques out there that you think are either a scam and a joke just for TV, or are just not a very good technique, but you're very successful with it. Talk to us about your technique of scrying and what you like about it.
My technique, well, there are two. I can work with a bowl of water, which I don't do often. My easiest way of scrying is in a mirror, usually alone, because it seems that that works best in the dark. I use my camera and I shut all the lights off. I talk to spirit, ask God, please help these people. Their heart is hurting. They need help. They need to heal. I ask spirit, can you please come through, and always with a smile. So take some photos, and then I stop and back up and look at them. And there's these people, or a person, or quite a few people, even. And particularly, they come through with a smile. It is a form of, they're not in the mirror, they are with me, next to me. And I do hear that mirrors are portals. Some people will not do scrying, they won't work with mirrors. You have to have no fear, no fear. You walk in that, I feel blessed by God. I was given this gift to heal, so I'm hoping He's covering me. So it is fascinating. No matter where I go, I get them anywhere, just anywhere, inside, outside. But the easiest way is to go and work through mirrors. And when I'm done with what I'm doing, I cross the mirrors, I say prayer, and that's that. But I do believe it is easier for them in the evening hours, which they can come through at any time of day. But I do believe it is easier after dark. The clarity's better. I recently purchased an EMF pump, which is this interesting little piece of equipment that sends out these waves, and that gives them energy to come through more clearly. So I'm going to start with that this evening and work with that one.
Oh, very cool. That reminds me of people for a while they were using the what's the two metal things. I
Oh,
forget what it's
the
called.
rods?
Yeah, the rods, and you see the electrodes, the
Yes,
electricity beams
yes.
to the middle. I forget what that's called. A Tesla coil,
Tesla,
I believe, or something. Um, is it Tesla? I think it's Tesla
the wave,
coil.
yes.
But people were using that for a while. I'm on the fence with those two, but I'll tell you what, it's the better option than people saying, "Take my energy," use my energy so that you can manifest or move something. And it goes back to the old adage, invitation. Those types of invitations you shouldn't put out there. You have been doing this a long time, and very you're highly respected in the field.
Thank you.
Talk to us about, I mean, I hear constantly from a lot of next generation ghost hunters, ghostbusters, paranormal investigators coming up, some on their own, some with teams. Um, that have had a lot of issues. And I find the number one thing mostly is that they get their training off of the TV. Two, they're not being careful. They're at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they say and do the wrong things. It's a lot of provoking, a lot of take my energy stuff. Let's talk to for all of the next gen people out there that might be watching, and even those that have been doing it for a while that have had some issues because they might have done something like that. I'm guilty of it from back in the day. Talk about the dangers and what people should really be careful about and big do's and big don'ts when it comes to doing what it is you do.
The big do's are complete respect. You may get a lot of cursing or telling you off, but you talk back. Don't talk to me like that, just like we do on here. But, and I've had apologies from the other side. The respect, just common respect. Talk to them with respect. You get a lot more with that. The don'ts are, do not invite spirit into yourself. For instance, I was taking pictures in a mirror. This particular case is on Sci-Fi. They said, don't go in the back room there. You'll get sick. So I went into the back room, didn't get sick. But then after quite a few times going to this house, I decided to ask, what happened to you? I want to feel what happened to you. As soon as I said that, I dropped my equipment and I left it at the house. Our whole team was there. And I left. I could barely drive 25 minutes. I felt so drugged. I came home and I just went to bed with my clothes on. The feeling I had was the worst ever. Never felt like that before. I had to ask friends who were nurses. I've described what I felt. They said, that's like a heroin overdose. That's heroin. Well, oh my God, that's really, really bad. But within this case, it turns out that these bikers shot this woman up with heroin and she died. They killed her and buried her in a bedroom under the house. So that she's a missing persons, in which case, during this case, they found the missing person and could notify the family. And this was, I'd say, I think in the 70s in Simi Valley. But the situation of feeling that, I will never invite anyone into myself again, because it was a sick feeling. It was, I'll go till 3 a.m, come home and look at pictures all night. And that particular night, it was done. So I've learned, never invite them. I think I'm a beacon. I have a light that goes off. They see it. They know it. They want to communicate. So what I do, that EMF pump is why I actually bought that to help them. Or we have other white noise that we can use. There's so many different ways of giving them energy versus, asking them to take your energy. I find that negative. It's really bad and a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
Me personally, it's up to certain people, but from experience, is not healthy, because if it's not just a person trying to show you, it could be something that you don't want to come into you, a non-human, something demonic, something negative, bad, very unhappy, mean, angry human spirit. So there's lessons to be learned, most definitely.
Yeah, I can't tell you. I have almost been punched in the face a few times because I've on more than one occasion been standing next to somebody who will say something really dumb, like I would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven, and I just reach over and I slap them upside the back of the head. And they look give me the craziest look, and I go, "That was from your guardian angel."
There you
You
go.
you got to be careful what you say, and you don't say things like that because you don't know what's floating around, what's listening, and we don't know all the rules, and that might be all it takes to just have some of them put their talons in you, and then you're in for a fight of your life.
Yes.
And what do you think about all this? Everybody see lots of people I talk to get their education off of the TV in this field of ours. What's the biggest scam out there right now going that you want people to be aware of? Let's go with equipment. wise. I I don't, and I know I'm going to get hate mail. I don't like the thing that was designed for Xbox that shows the stick figures,
Oh,
because
okay.
the thing is designed to try and formulate a figure no matter what. And if you don't give it a figure, it's going to go ahead and do the stick figure because it doesn't know what else to do. Um,
If you actually ask that stick figure lift up your right hand, it lifts up the right hand, lifts left, turn around. They'll answer and they'll do that. I don't know if it has anything to do with the app because it is an app that you're working through. But I've seen those. We have one, and we use that on occasion. But when you tell it to do something and there's nobody in the room, sometimes that happens. I have not been able to actually validate that equipment, the 360. I haven't validated that. I can validate humans and I can different things, but not that just didn't work for me. So I don't really know because it is an app. I mean, it has to be tested more. But this,
Absolutely.
the other spirit boxes and so forth, those tend to work.
Yeah, some of them. I still have. I should have pulled it out somewhere around here. I still have one of those old Radio Shack ghost boxes.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I actually put earbuds in them and go around into a house. 'Cause I'm not worried about cameras on me and having to have the evidence. I just want to communicate, and try to get to the bottom of what's happening in a place and bring some closure to the case and make things better for the family. So I'm trying to do my thing. But yeah, there's so many things you got to be careful with out there. Let's circle back before I have to say goodbye to you on this hauntingly wonderful Halloween night that I got to spend an hour with you. It's, I would have loved this show to be 2 hours and
I could do that.
jump into the photos, and we will do that. I promise you. I'll throw some dates at you for next year. I'm booked through the end of the year. I'll throw some dates at you for 23, and we'll just do a full on. If I can beg Zach to hang out another 30 minutes, we'll do a full on um, just Terra ghost photo reveal. But let's circle back to the and he's frozen.
Another 30 minutes? What?
Not tonight. Not tonight. Next year. Let's circle back to the mirrors. I recently worked a case where the woman she buys homes and then she flips them. They're fix 'em uppers and she flips them. And this home was she bit off more than she could chew in many reasons. It was more of a fix 'em upper than she thought, but it was haunted. She was seeing a young lady. She even called the police out because she thought maybe someone was murdered at one time in the house, and they couldn't find any record of anything like that being attached to the home. We suspect the home was broken into and was left vacant for many years. So some transient people must have been in there. We think maybe there was some demonic activity in terms of rituals and ceremonies and stuff done, that someone might have been sacrificed there. She was seeing the spirit of a young girl there, but only when she looked in a mirror. She would see the girl behind her in the mirror. So when I went into the home, she had all the mirrors covered up. I'm all, you must be from the South. How'd you know? I'm all, trust me, I just know. So she stopped wanting to look in the mirrors. She would only take a covering off her bathroom mirror to do her makeup in the morning before she went to work. I didn't see, of course, I didn't have any mirrors to look into, but in one of the bedrooms, the closet doors were mirrored. And I actually saw the girl when I'm looking at the closet before I even have a chance to open it up. I see her in the mirror behind me walk past the window, but she's outside in the backyard, walking past the window. So I go, oh, very interesting. I go in the closet, and closer inspection, I found some carvings and stuff that seemed to be of an occult nature on the wood, like the door frame, behind the door frame, so kind of hidden from the naked eye. And when you would look, you wouldn't see unless you actually got in there and looked behind the door frame. So that's what we suspect. But mirrors, I get a lot of crazy ghost photos myself in the mirrors. What is it about the mirrors? Do you truly believe that they are portals and we should be careful with mirrors?
I do. I do. That's why I close at the end. I do the cross, say a prayer, close the session. Yes, I do. There are portals, but when I'm photographing, I know they're not in the mirror. I know they're right next to me. But I have seen some things that are not human, such as like an amphibious face. It was almost like a frog, but it was not a frog, and just different weird things come through. You can actually turn your cell phone, sit in the house or sit and face a mirror, turn the lights out, turn your cell phone on, turn on your flash, or if you're going to videotape the light, make sure the light's on and just sit and let it roll, because you'll see everything floating by, dust, orbs, people. You can see that if you actually spend time doing that. And not only in the mirrors, anywhere, but specifically the mirrors are very, very active for me. I know there's a show, it's called 28 Days. It is with Ed and Lorraine Warren's grandson, I believe. And their team will not work with mirrors at all. They refuse. And I would love to help educate them, because I think it's a very easy way to communicate. And even when working with scrying in water, trying to communicate with extraterrestrials, it works. I have 3 of them, and they are orange zetas, so I can actually see that. And it's fascinating to me, because I had turned out the light, looked at the pictures, and what those are aliens. Those are, some people call them aliens. I call them universal friends, so to speak, but they're there. It's the scrying, it is the communication, it's just the way that I find it. I'm very comfortable with it. My house is all mirrors. I moved into a new home. It's been 4 weeks. This house is extremely haunted. Nothing negative, but very haunted. My kids see people walking by. They see them out of the corner of the eyes. This home was an old folks care home. So people have passed away here. The realtor did tell me that. And when he told me, I said, that's the place we're going to get. That's it. That's it. Yeah. And we got it. So we plan on staying here. And I do have about 6 photos of mostly men and a couple of women in this house. So it doesn't bother me. My kids, I've taught them not to be afraid. But working with mirrors is definitely always 100%. It works for me. Just have to be careful.
Absolutely. I've added to the top of my to-do list in this field to have to get together with you in person one day and work a case or do some investigating. So here's my plan. Recently, I want to say it was like Christmas time last year, they had a huge, I think it was called the Las Vegas Para-Unity Expo. Big Paracon here. EBPS didn't do it. I forget who actually sponsored it, but it was pretty huge. I don't know how good the turnout was or wasn't. I couldn't go because I was actually out of town at that time. We're only 1 state away from you. If they end up having,
away from
me. If we end up having that Paracon again this year, I would love for you to try to come to it, and we should hook up and do something. There's so many locations here that I can get to at any time that a lot of other people don't even know about, that I could use somebody like you to go in and just tell me what you think, what you feel, what you see, help try and bring some closure to it, the cases, and we'll see if maybe that might happen one day, or maybe I'll be able to make it out to an event in your neck of the woods and meet up with you through that or somehow. But it's going to happen. When I put something on the to-do list, eventually happen. It may not be next year or 5 years from now, but hopefully it'll happen. I think that would be very cool. And
yes, I would love to. And you just let me know. Literally, I'll be there, because my daughter, I introduced her to Las Vegas, and she's gone every couple of months just having fun. It's just such an active, wonderful city. And I have a home there that I inherited. So I'm going to go look at that in North Las Vegas. I will be there. And I'd love to come and meet you. I'll bring equipment. We'll have some fun. And I'm very much so looking forward to that.
Tara, I love you. I respect you. You're on the prayer list.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour. I want you to have a wonderful, blessed, safe remainder to your Halloween evening. Have a great party. Have some fun. Laugh. I tell people all the time, laugh as often as possible. Laugh at yourself too. It's really therapeutic.
Oh, I do.
God bless you. Have a great evening. I'll be talking to you soon. I'll have you back for a photo of your review, okay?
Thank you for having me on the show this evening. It was wonderful. I always enjoy being with you, and it's the best time. I was looking forward to this, and it turned out wonderful. Happy Halloween to you
Happy
and
Halloween. God
everyone.
bless. I'll see you
Bye.
later.
Thank you.
Bye bye. I'm all chilled in here. Is my dream catcher spinning? A little movement. I didn't watch it tonight. You guys will have to send me a message and let me know if there was much movement there. Okay, I will be here this coming Friday with an all new live show. Friday, November 4th. You guys are so not ready for this guy. From the United States Old Catholic Church, Bishop James Long will be here this coming Friday, November 4th. And if I had a mic, I would drop it, or my mic's here, I would just drop my headphones, but I still got to finish the show. Bam, there you go. Bishop James Long next Friday. On that note, the United States Old Catholic Church has night prayer every weeknight, Monday through Friday, live, 7 p.m. Pacific. Go to usocc.org. The link is there. Also, Wednesday afternoons and Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. Pacific, the USOCC, Bishop James Long, has Bible study. That is a great time if you go for that sort of stuff. And everybody could use a little more God in their life, especially right now. Again, you can find the link to that at usocc.org. Go to communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. Donate to the hurricane relief. I want to wish a very happy 1 year anniversary to Things Network. That's right. Can you believe it? It's been a year already. Congratulations, Jeremy. I love and respect you too, brother. Good job. May you have many, many more years of broadcasting totally forgettable content. Like my show. Anyway, thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton, my co producers. I couldn't do the show without them. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network. Thank you to PACT, little P, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel, for all broadcasting, simulcasting my show there. It is much appreciated. And I think it's bad joke time. I'm going to pull a joke that one of you sent in out of this haunted carnival barker's hat that was worn by a carnival barker, and I believe his spirit is still attached to it. His daughter gave me this hat after he passed away, and this is my very poor attempt to put a smile on everybody's face before I say goodnight. What's the difference between a piano and a fish? You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Happy Halloween, everybody. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. You're all on the prayer list. Happy Halloween and peace.